Alright.
My strawberry kisses, I could fly through the wind.
Story time about how I found out that my mom was sleeping with my history teacher to get me better grades. So it was my junior year of high school, and everybody knows that your junior year is the most important year of high school. If you didn't, well, now you know. My brother was in his senior year of high school, and when he was a junior, he had the same teacher, so he knew how hard the class was. So he would stay up with me every night helping me to pass my history class. Well, the one day I'm at school and I'm taking a test, and I literally did not know anything on the test. And I studied the night before for literally 4 hours straight. So I decided to copy off the girl next to me. Well, a few days later, we get our test back. And I'm looking at mine, and I got a 97%. And then I look over to the girl next to me. She got a 33%. And then I started going through the tests. None of the essay questions looked like my handwriting. But I didn't say anything because I wanted that A. Well, the one night, I'm sitting down with my family having dinner, and I told them that I copied off the girl next to me, and how I got a 97% and she got a 33%, and my brother flips out like for part 2. Part 2 of my mom sleeping with my history teacher to get me better grades. So like I said, I told my parents that I got a 97, she got a 33, and I was telling them how the handwriting didn't even look like mine, and everything. And then my brother starts flipping out. In front of my dad, too. He goes, "Mom, are you fucking serious? You couldn't let her try and do this on her own?" And I was super confused. Like, I thought that maybe he was talking about my mom paid off the teacher. But then he said, "Yeah, Dad, if you didn't know, Mom's been fucking our history teacher to get us better grades." And then he goes, "Mom, you're such a fucking whore." And my mom's sitting there not even fazed. She just took a drink of her wine and said, "Get the fuck upstairs now." Before my brother leaves the table, he goes, "Maybe you can fuck Dad's boss too. Maybe he'll get a raise." And then I realized what was happening. And it's around 6:30 p.m. So after that, a lot of stuff happened. My dad obviously wanted to get a divorce at that point. So my dad took my brother and I to our grandparents, and we stayed with them for like 2 weeks. But then everybody at school found out, and we got made fun of a lot. And then after that, we moved schools.
This is why waking up late might just save your life. One day when I was in elementary school, my mom and I both overslept, which meant I wouldn't be ready in time to get on the bus. School started at 8, my bus pickup time was at 7, and it was already 6:40 or something. I was still in my PJs and hadn't even had breakfast yet. My mom decided that today we would just tell the bus driver to go on ahead and she would take me to school, which would give me plenty of time to get ready. It's 6:50, I'm in my PJs eating breakfast, and that's when we hear the bus pull up 10 minutes earlier than scheduled. My mom peeks her head out of the door into the foggy morning and waves the bus on. She closed the door and came back inside, but the bus didn't pull away. There's a knock at the door, and my mom opens it to find a man in a bus driver uniform. He explains he's a substitute bus driver because the regular driver called in sick, and that he's early because he wanted to get an early start on the route. My mom says she's taking me to school because we woke up late. He gets visibly upset and says he can wait a few minutes since he's already ahead of schedule. My mom says that we won't be ready in a few minutes and tells him to go on ahead. He seemed really angry about this, but turned around, got back on the bus, and left. But at 7 a.m., another bus pulls up to my house. My mom went out to talk to them and came back looking terrified. Part 2 of why sleeping in might just save your life. After talking to the bus driver, my mom came back looking terrified, but she didn't say anything about it and told me to finish getting ready for school. At the time, I didn't know what happened, but my mom would end up telling me a few years later. When she went to the second bus, she found out it was being driven by my regular driver and it was full of other kids that are usually on my route. By the way, the other bus was empty. My mom asked the driver about the substitute driver and about him calling in sick. He tells her that he never called in sick and there is no substitute driver on his route. The driver immediately called dispatch in a panic and told my mom to go inside and call the police and report this incident, which she did without me knowing at the time. There was absolutely no one doing my driver's route that day. Whoever this was most likely a kidnapper who had targeted me. I never heard anything about it again, not even if someone else had ended up being picked up by this mysterious fake bus driver. But chances are, had I gotten on that bus, I would never have made it to school or back home. And if we hadn't overslept on that specific day, I would have been on that bus. This is why you should think twice about moving in with your friends. My friend Amy and I decided to get an apartment together. We've been friends for a while and she's the type of friend that I could never get sick of and always hang out with. The first issue we had was when she started bringing her boyfriend over a few nights a week, which was fine at first. However, he started coming over more frequently to the point where he was there 6 nights a week. Her boyfriend also always parked in my designated spot, leaving me nowhere to park. On top of that, Amy and I decided we would go shopping together for food every few weeks and split the grocery bill. But her boyfriend is over constantly eating all the food that we bought, and this guy can eat. Amy also complained that the AC bill is too high and we need to stop turning down the temperature so much and I quote, "open the windows and rough it." I went to work one day and came back and the apartment felt almost as hot as it was outside, which was over 100 degrees. My dog lives with us, so I always try to keep the apartment cool. I immediately checked on him and went to turn on the AC. But to my shock, Amy had taken the control panel off of the wall and hid it so I couldn't adjust the temperature. I called her furious and explained to her that she could have killed my dog, to which she replied, "I'm not going to leave the AC on all day when we're gone for a stupid dog." This is when things took a turn for the worse. Part 2, why you should think twice about moving in with your friends. After everything that happened, I knew I needed to get out and start looking for another arrangement. The next night I came home late after studying with some friends. I went straight to my room, turned on the lights, and almost had a heart attack when I saw a guy laying in my bed in just his boxers. I started screaming and freaking out, and that's when Amy rushed into the room. She said it was her boyfriend's friend that got too drunk when they went out and he needed to sleep it off. I couldn't believe she put this passed out, drunk, disgusting guy in my bed. At this point I was seeing red and I was about to fight her. But I left to my mom's for the night before I did anything I would regret. That same night, one of my friends sent me a screenshot. Amy had posted in a local Facebook group about how she's looking for a new roommate to replace her horrible current roommate. I couldn't believe that in her mind, I was the horrible one. The next day, I took some friends and packed up all of my things. While I was packing, Amy had the audacity to come into the room and ask me if I was still going to pay for next month's rent. When I refused, she tried to guilt trip me into telling me if I want to keep our friendship, then I need to pay. I told her that nothing could save our friendship at this point and I left. I haven't talked to her since.
I was in class on Zoom. I wanted to go to sleep, honestly, because like when I'm tired, I go to sleep. I end up falling asleep and then class ends and everyone starts leaving the class. Except me, because I was like in a whole other universe at this point. I was dreaming, I was flying. At this point, me and the teacher are alone in the call. This is the best part. Then the teacher starts talking to me and he's like, "Samantha, wake up. Samantha, please. Samantha, you have another class." He woke me up, but I was half awake, so I didn't really know what was going on. So I thought it was my brother waking me up, and I straight up yelled. I was like, "Shut up, you fat booger." And so then I realized, oh shit, I just called my teacher a fat booger. And now he scheduled a parent conference. I'm going on Monday, so I'm really excited.
Oh my god, you guys. I literally cannot fucking do this today. I was fucking walking because I had to take my morning walks. I got my little water bottle. Not showing them because they're not paying me enough. But there was this family and there was this little kid. This little kid, he came up to me, he like ran up to me and he gave me like this piece of candy. It was like a brown jelly bean. And so, you know, I crouched down and I started playing with him and I started doing the little airplane thing. Like, zoo, ooh, I'm about to put it in your mouth. Ah. And he's like, put it in your mouth. And so I fucking put that shit in my mouth. It was no fucking jelly bean. It was not a fucking jelly bean. I ate shit. That little fucker fed me his goat pellets. So you know what I did? I knocked that little bitch over and ran. And then the family wants to start running after me and yelling like their kid didn't just fucking try to kill me. Sorry, y'all. I'm out of breath because I was running for so long. Like I literally kicked the fuck out of that kid. Oh my god. It's a PSA to all parents. Control your fucking kid. I'll really rock that kid if I ever see it again. Oh my god. I just got home. I'm gonna wash the fuck out of my mouth.
Hi guys, so here is part 1 of why you should not friend anyone on Roblox that you do not know. This is my story. So, I was playing Adopt Me and this girl, she friended me and I was not thinking, so I just friended her back. And she teleported to me and she asked if we could be IBFs because she didn't have any, and I was like, okay, just to be nice. But over time, we started to become, like, really good friends. We had each other's social medias, like, we had TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and all that. And one day, she blocked me on every single social media that we had of each other. And I was kind of confused, and I didn't know what was happening. So I made a fake TikTok and messaged her. Come back for part 2. Okay, sorry about the wait. I had to go run a whole bunch of errands with my mom, but I will do all the parts right now. Okay, so after I texted her, she on TikTok, she was like, "I know it's you, stop it. I am about to hack your account with all my friends." And I was like, what the heck? How did she find this out? And then she hacked me, and I don't even know how because there was a 2-step verification. And then I finally got it back because after like a week, because I DM'd Roblox and they finally gave it to me. And then I changed everything. I changed like literally my password, my avatar, and I tried to save up for Robux to change my user, and I did that. And then, but for some reason she still found out about my new account. So I blocked her on everything. Come back. Hey guys, so this is the last part. So after I blocked her, it's been like a month, and I did see her in my friend request like 2 times, but I just kept declining, and then the second time I just blocked her. And that's the last I've heard from her, seen of her. But yeah.
Story time about how I snuck out of the house and got caught by my crazy psycho mother. Warning you guys, but here we go. At the time I was 19 and I just got done with my first year at a university. And while I was at school, I met this cute boy, which we're going to call Kendrick. And that whole year we were talking. So summertime rolls around and I go back to live with my parents. And when it came to my parents, they were very strict about me talking to boys, especially my mom. And I know I was 19, but my mom did not allow me to go out if she didn't know where I was at. So this one day, Kendrick is like, oh, we should go out one night. And I went and told my mom that I was going to the mall with my friends. But as the time got later, it was like too late. And my mom started blowing up my phone. And usually when she does that, I'm in big trouble. So I just decided not to pick up because I know I'm going to get in trouble anyway. So I might as well stay out and have fun with whatever time I had. But that was the biggest mistake. Y'all come back for part 2 because it gets bad, really bad. Part 2 of how I got caught sneaking out of the house by my crazy psycho mother. So like I said earlier, I was out and she was blowing my phone up and I was not answering. Because I knew I was going to get in trouble anyway, so I might as well just have fun. Well, as the night was getting later, I had to go home. And when my boyfriend Kendrick dropped me off, there was a whole bunch of cars outside of my house and police cars. When I walked into my house, I saw all of my family, uncle, aunts, cousins, police. It was a whole bunch of people in there. I had my uncles and aunts walking up to me asking what happened to me. Said they called the police because they thought I got kidnapped. At one point, I was going to lie and said I got kidnapped because I didn't want to get in trouble. But I just told everybody I was out with a friend. But when my mom saw me, it was over. It was over. I should have just went ahead and buried my grave then and there. Because I got my ass whooped in front of everybody and the cops.
This is why I don't friend random people on Roblox. A few years ago when I got my Roblox account, I'd love to friend everyone. I would even join a random server, friend everyone, and leave. One day I joined a server and there was 2 people standing right next to each other. It was a girl and a boy. Their users were Amazing Man 21 and Amazing Woman 22. Of course, I didn't think much of it and I friended them. I left the server to go chat with them. I then saw a group chat with both of them and me in it. At first, they were really nice to me. But then things got out of control. They both kept asking me what my name was. At that age, I didn't really think that was private information. But then they asked for my address. I quickly unfriended both of them and blocked them. I got off Roblox for a few hours and then I got a notification. It was from an unknown number. It was a group chat with numbers I didn't know. Come back for part 2. This is part 2 of why I don't friend random people on Roblox. When I opened the group chat, 2 people were spamming the exact same thing. They were both saying, friend me back, friend me back, friend me back, all over again. I got so scared to the point I had to tell my parents. My parents got so worried and they called the police. When the police arrived, I showed them all the text messages. They were shocked and they said that they knew who those numbers were. One of them pulls out their phone and showed me a picture of an old man and an old woman. They said that it was them. They also said they were wanted in many countries. I was so scared that I started bawling my eyes out. I couldn't believe that this was happening to me. I went back on Roblox to see if those 2 accounts did anything to my account. I then see 2 friend requests. Their users were friendmeback21 and friendmeback22. I knew it was them. I blocked them both. Come back for part 2. This is part 3 of why I don't friend random people on Roblox. When I was trying to block them, it wouldn't let me. It kept saying unable to block. I then suddenly get a notification from the same group chat. And there was a link. When I pressed the link, it was all pictures of me. I didn't know how they got them. Then my mom gets a FaceTime call from the same numbers in the group chat. My mom answered it to give evidence to the police. It was just a dark screen. Then it just hung up. I was so scared. I was even thinking about quitting Roblox. Then the police asked to make a FaceTime call with the numbers. When they called them, they answered. The police said, "Who are you? Identify yourself." And they both said, "I'm not done." Then they hung up. Come back for part 4. This is part 4 of why I don't friend random people on Roblox. Then the police asked if they can go on my Roblox account to join their game. Of course I said yes. When the police go on my account, they see that they're playing an obby. It was the same obby that I first found them in. When they joined, the police started spamming to leave the game because there are serial killers in it. Everyone leaves. It's only the police and both of them. Then they both start spamming in the chat, "I'm not done." We didn't know what that meant. The police says, "I know who you are." Then the police left and tracked both of their numbers. They found where they lived. It was midnight, so we couldn't go then. But we went the next day. We got in the car and I sat in the back. I was so scared. It was 2 hours away from our house. The police got out of the car and knocked on the door. They slowly opened the door. Come back for part 5. This is part 5 of why I don't friend random people on Roblox. When they opened the door, it was the exact woman in the picture. I got super scared and ran back into the car. Keep in mind my parents were also in the car. The police calls for backup. I was just staring out of the window. The woman looked at him in a really suspicious way, but she just stood there. Then the man comes. The police pulls out handcuffs and arrests both of them. When the backup police came, the police put them both in the backup car. They looked at me the whole time. I quickly looked away. Then the backup car brought them to court. Then me, the police, and my parents drove back home. When we got home, I saw something in the bushes. Come back for... This is part 6 of why I don't friend random people on Roblox. When I saw something in the bushes, I told my parents I'd be in the house in a little bit. I walked towards the bushes. All I saw were eyes, and I could tell they were human eyes. I got super scared and ran back into the house. My mom asked me if I was okay, and I said yes. I ran into my room and locked the door. Then my parents went to sleep. I watched some TV to get it off my mind. But then I see something out of the window. It was staring at me and then it ran off. It was a woman.